Hello everyone, welcome back to one of the very fresh episode of Grow with Anshuman. Today I have Tariqul with us. Hi, how are you doing today? Very good morning.
Very good morning. I'm really great to see you here. Okay. And I'm very well. And what about you?
Yeah, I'm doing absolutely pretty insane this year. Thank you for asking. So, would you mind to just give you a quick or brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. As
Mm-hmm.
you know, my name is Mohammad Tariqul Islam and I'm from Bangladesh.
Okay.
Recently, I have completed my master's in political science and now
Uh-huh.
I'm working on my communication skills. Apart from that, I have a small YouTube channel which I upload conversational videos. And if I talk about my hobbies, I love to like meet with uncharted people. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty
Meet
much
with.
about me. Uncharted people.
Okay. Uncharted people. Pretty new word for me. Would you elaborate or just give me what exactly
Yeah.
this stands for?
It's called like we just say that stranger people.
Stranger. Okay. Oh. I got a synonyms
Yes.
of strangers, unchatted. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So how does this comes to you? Like, because you pretty well wanted to being well versed at communication, that was the reason came to, just talking to a stranger and knowing them better. That was the reason.
Yes, of course.
Interesting. Cool, 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 cool. So I hope that you have gone through with my YouTube channel. So anyway, do you also want me to introduce a bit?
Yes.
Sure. So hello everyone, Anshuman this side. So as majority of the people would knowing me from a communicational background or communicational aspect. So yes, 2.5 years I've been closely working with those people who know what to speak but really struggles to, speak it confidently into the
Mm-hmm.
public.
Yes.
So, just giving them confidence that they can do this, they can speak fluently. And it is not just for sake of
Mm-hmm.
English improvement because my core belief is very simple, Islam, that if someone can communicate effectively, the quality of life improves drastically. Personally, they grow, professionally, they grow, emotionally and socially too, right? So that is the pretty well reason to be consistent on YouTube these days and trying to also. And the question why I asked to, this unchatted people, because this time I'm also being very keen to talk with the stranger people just for sake of nothing. Because some of the time, if you do not expect something, sometimes, a very fruitful conversation we ended up doing with. So I'm feeling that we are also looking towards something very raw and candid conversation and where it takes let's see, right?
Yes.
Cool, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
like,
thank you.
yep, yep.
Okay, so yes, I have two questions,
Go
which
for
is
that.
like you are so fluent in English. Okay, I can see. So you said you working it like 2.5 years, right?
On this communicational aspect, yep, yep. Even more than that.
Okay, even more than that. Okay, so I have been doing this like 7 or 8 months, I can say. So nowadays, I am trying to improve my like fluency. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
don't have any. I didn't have any this kind of fluency before 6 months or 4 months ago.
Okay,
So okay, now I'm little bit confident and I love to meet with people and I'm trying to improve myself. Okay, so I just want to take one suggestions from you. Okay, so how did you every people like say that how did you learn English or how did you
correct,
get your fluency? Okay,
correct,
so I would love to know from you. Okay, so how do I uh, like become fluent in English? Okay, like we know like four pillars of English, which is reading, writing, or listening.
correct,
Okay,
correct.
so what do you think about that?
But I mean, I do have multiple questions from your input. So before, giving you any specific suggestions or anything, I would like to know more exactly where do you see yourself for now? And what is the focus of, taking
Mhm.
yourself towards? Because maybe you might be thinking that you'll have to appear for an interview, or you'll have to improve on your general fluency, or you'll have to specifically give and talk. So everything do require the different, skill set. So what as your
Yes, of course.
current goal where you exactly wanted to improve at. So would you mind to just tell me a bit about that so that I can specifically tell you what is needed for
No
yourself?
problem.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I would love to like do a good job. which
Okay.
is could be a corporate sector or government sector.
Okay.
But I love to like teaching profession. Okay,
Okay.
I I'm really eager to that. So that is why I need to like polish myself as a English learner. And one more thing is I love to teach students because I have 4 students right now.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so that is how.
What do you teach to them? Like any specific subject or like it is English only?
No, there is no specific subject, but
Okay.
English or maths.
Maths.
This
Okay.
is 2 major subjects.
Got it. Cool, cool, cool. Amazing. So, like, your main goal to improve into this fluency is to be a good teacher, to be a good elaborator so that your student can get you better, right?
Yes,
Perfect.
of course.
Perfect. And maybe probably you'd be also giving a couple of interviews to get onboarded as a professor or maybe a school teacher. That's what you're expecting towards, correct?
Yes, I have given already.
Oh, lovely. So, how was your interview experience and what did you feel about that? That where
My
exactly you were
interview
lagging?
experience was
Uh-huh.
not good. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
that time I was lacking so much. So that's
Okay.
why now I'm trying to improve myself.
So where exactly you were lacking? Like, was that a grammatical portion? Was that a confident you were not able to showcase, or was that a technical gap? Whatever they were asking about the subject matter expertise.
Um, my lacking was that uh, that they wanted to like their expectation was not like that you have to become much more fluent.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
their expectation was like that you need to some basics grammar or basic spoken English. But that time I wasn't able to do that. So that is how.
Okay. It was like back then 6 months ago, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. And what do you think, like, if you would appear any kind of interviews, so how would you perform?
Nowadays.
Yep. Yep.
Nowadays I think I'm a little bit more confident
Okay.
to face any kinds of interviews. So
Cool.
as you can see, my English is not good, I can say, because right now I'm trying to improve. But yeah, I can like sit for interviews, I can say.
Cool. So let me reframe this question so that you can give me the exact answer. So, what is your strongest point and what is your weak point? Where do you see that you should look for improvement in terms of spoken English? Confidence is one, I got it from you now. What else do you think that you are confident about in terms of spoken English? Maybe your grammar,
Okay, I have some lack of
the strongest
yes,
point.
maybe
Let's
my
just start
grammar.
from.
And one
Okay.
more thing is like yes, my strongest point is like I know some grammatical part, which is
Okay.
basic grammar, not a
Okay.
deeply. I know basic grammar points,
Okay.
and I know some words. But when it's come to my like weakness points, so
Okay.
that time I can't elaborate those words in my conversation, okay, or in
Okay.
my interviews. That is my weak point, I can say.
So elaboration means if I interviewed ask a question, so would you able to give them a little bit idea that what exactly you wanted to say? Maybe you're not able to explain them, but you can manage it now at least, correct?
Yes, yes,
Because the way you're
yes, I can
talking,
manage.
it's been already more than 10 minutes and I was asking questions. It is obviously a different circumstances. You are feeling that we are having a conversation. You don't have any pressure to perform in terms of interview. So probably that this is the reason that's why you're feeling confident, right? But I feel that is my personal belief that you are underrating yourself. Yeah, as you mentioned that you're not confidently said this thing that you're not pretty well at English. I didn't feel it. So be confident a bit. That is what you are already having and you should have. And so tell me a little bit about your practices in last 6 months, what you're doing and how your day looks like today, like in terms of spoken part, how much time did you dedicate to read, write, and all those things?
Like before 3 months back, I had an exam, so that's why I didn't consistent about English, okay,
Okay.
because of my exams. But
Mm-hmm.
now, like before 1 month ago, I have been doing it, okay, continuously. But when it comes to my efforts,
Mm-hmm.
like in a day, at least 1 hours, I do it like listening and speaking, okay,
Okay.
for myself. So yeah, that is how now I am practicing. Like
So
at least 30 minutes for speaking
Okay.
and 30 minutes for listening.
Okay. And what do you specifically listen? Like, is it a podcast? Is it a conversational video? Is it something else?
Yeah, sometimes it's a podcast or sometimes it's conversational videos because
Okay.
from conversational videos I get many things. Okay,
Exactly.
I get natural ways to learn English, and sometimes I get like a few words,
Okay.
which is I never listen to these words. So that is how
Hmm.
I get.
Cool, cool. And how about the speaking part? Where do you do practice? Like, do you talk to
Speaking parts,
yourself?
sometimes I speak with ChatGPT or Gemini, and sometimes when I manage to like co-learners from YouTubers. So that is
Okay.
how.
But I believe that would not be consistent basis, right? You could able to get everyone at every day, right? So how do you manage this thing to
Yes, it's
do?
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about like talking with yourself. Okay, if
Okay.
you talk to yourself in inner side, then you
Correct.
can improve your English. So that is how.
So you were specifically giving the time to talk to yourself. That's what you're saying in half an
Yes,
hour.
of course. Yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
Mhm.
And like in that half an hour, do you talk to yourself in your mind or you speak louder and you're feeling that, oh, okay, I'm talking to myself by speaking louder?
Uh, Loudly.
Yep,
I talk
loudly.
to myself loudly. Yes.
Interesting.
Because when you open your mouth, okay, and
Okay,
then you can listen to your speak in your eyes. So
okay.
that is how you can improve. Yes,
Cool,
I have
cool.
heard about this.
Lovely.
Mhm.
You are already ahead. Like, I mean, now I think I do have a little bit, your context. Now I could suggest you something. However, I do have a couple of more questions. That do you have any timeline to learn this language? Like you are thinking that you should have at least 3 months or 4 months, 6 months, maybe 1 year you are targeting. What is your timeline to learn this language? And you feel that you should be comfortably talking to your interviewer or whatsoever.
I don't think learning has a timeline,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
because it takes it depends on you, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you efforts a lot, then you can grab it within 2 months or 3 months.
Okay.
Okay, I can see a lot of ads from YouTube. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
then if you do it properly, then you can fluent. Then you can fluent in just 1 month. But I
Okay.
can say it's impossible in 1 month. You can say like basic English, but whenever it's come to interviews or whenever it's come to talking to some strangers people, then you can get stuck. I can say that happens also with me.
Understood. Understood. So, like, except all those things what you mentioned, do you think that there is anything what you wanted to specifically mention? Where do you struggle in terms of giving interviews? Because what do I understand? It is just because of confidence, because you might have not been spoken to the interviewer for so many times, and probably you mentioned the last interview gave 6 months back,
Mhm,
and after that you might not have been interacted with many more
mhm,
people, as you mentioned that you either talk with GPT or some of the time you do self imitation if you don't get a YouTuber to talk. So I don't feel
mhm,
like you're lacking somewhere. You're just lacking the real practice ground. It's something like, again, it's very, practical. If you wanted to better at swimming, you'll have to be in water for so long. And if you wanted to master at swimming, you'll have to be, dedicatedly be in water and see that how the things you can take it away. So if I would give you any random suggestion, that wouldn't work for you because you already been aware with reading, writing, all those aspects, as you mentioned. You are just lacking the practice. Half an hour is not enough. Having said that, you are really looking
yes.
forward to interview, what appear into the interview. So if you can extend the timing, even if it is in half an hour, so specifically give it for speaking for real people. Get your friends, get your colleagues, get your navigator. If no one is there, go and talk to that application. There is many more application, and I have used an application called Ace Fluency for 2.5 years for free. You won't believe, it would give you 20 minutes for daily basis for free. You can
Fluency.
utilize it smartly and you
Mhm,
can make two IDs. You can do your own jugaad and you can get 40 minutes per day. And if you can speak 40 minutes a daily basis for anybody else, I believe like you would be commendable. And last 2.5 months, whatever you have spent, you would feel that you would be progressing so fast as per you have expected. So no need to worry about much grammatical portion because as far you have spoken to me, I have analyzed the thing that you're not making any, the mistakes which is being significantly, people can, see that. So it's good to go with focus more on practice as much as you can. And if you can extend the timing of speaking, do this. And
Mm.
also prepare for few of the interview question as your introduction, because there are a few questions which being very set in either of the interview would be appear 3 4 question, what they
Yes.
would be asking. So well prepared, because it is something like you went there and the question and you are well
Mm-hmm.
prepared, so you
It's a
can
basic
articulate.
question.
Exactly. So be very aware. And talking about your strongest
Yes.
point, I find I might be wrong as well, that your good point or the strongest point is somewhere your pronunciation too. Like, you're pretty solid about that. I'm not sure whether you're aware or not, but I'm hearing it very, what I would say, clear, loud, and perfect. So that is also one you should be aware, that what is your strength and where do you want to work. And specifically about your weaknesses, I didn't find any,
Mm-hmm. Yes,
grammatical
yes.
mistakes and all. So no need to worry about those. So just be consistent and do the practice for 30 days without skipping a day, and you would feel a tremendous change in you. Nothing specific suggestion. That's all from my side. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I will definitely do it. Because I had MTI issues, but nowadays I'm trying to improve that because nowadays I'm listening like podcast. It's from
Okay.
British or American accent podcast. So
Okay.
it will help me to like reduce my MTI issues.
Hmm. So that's what I believe. It is also one of the reason of your pronunciation, right? Because you might be consuming a lot of content from YouTube in different
Yes, of
accent,
course.
and amalgamation of that is what we are hearing today,
Mhm.
right?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yep. So you mentioned this MTI, right? So how do you know about this MTI? Like, you are exactly having this issues. That was a common sense, that because you born and brought up into non-native place, so probably that would be there. But did anybody tell you
Yes,
specifically
yes.
that?
Yeah, before when I started my English journey, that time
Okay.
it was the time I had MTI issues. Like OUR, it's called like our village.
Mm.
Whenever we pronounced that
Yep.
our village, okay,
Right.
I pronounced that our village,
Okay.
but it's
Or
I think it's called our village.
even
Okay,
I'm not aware.
OUR.
Okay.
Okay, I heard about that, and I met some YouTubers. They also said that okay,
Okay.
it's not our, it's called R.
Ah.
So that is how I name it.
Cool. 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 Good that you're, are trying to learn new things, new accent, and probably you are trying to have a good accent in place. That's good to have, because it would
Mhm.
give you an extra edge while talking to any interviewer. They would feel that this guy have, strong voice. So your voice tonality, your pronunciation, your accents also do play a role. However, you should be more focused
Yes.
on a single thing, which may be a grammar, which may be pronunciation, which may be your accent at a single time. Never try to chase 10 rabbits at a time. So this is very common mistake. Even I did back then, 2.5 years, that I was thinking, if I'll have to improve,
Mhm.
I'll have to go so fast so that I would be very fluent within 3 4 months. As usual, we do have this expectation, right? So what did I do that time? That same
Mhm.
time, if I'm, just trying to learn very good words, vocabulary improvement, and simultaneously I'm working on my grammar, and also parallelly I was trying to use idioms, phrases. I was also trying to do, accent practice, and probably I was, literally not getting the gist of communication, because it's again, if I'll ask you that, Tariqul, that go and chase 10 rabbit at a time, do you think that you can chase any of them?
No, I think it's not possible because at a time, man cannot do like a lot of things. Okay.
Exactly.
Whenever you focus on your pronunciation, then you cannot focus on your speaking part
Exactly.
because sometimes you make mistakes. Okay. That
Correct.
time you like demotivated. Okay. What should I say and what I'm saying?
True.
So that is how I can say just focusing on your like if you have 3 or 2 goals, then you have to like complete one by one.
Exactly, exactly. That's what the reason behind asking the timeline. Because if we do have a timeline, a deadline set for ourselves, that this is the part I wanted to improve within a month. Because if you take grammar as a
Mhm.
thing, so you feel that I'll be investing 1 year to read the grammar, then I'll start speaking, doesn't make sense, right? So better you take 1 or 2 week to understand the basic grammar and start speaking with whatever you have. Because words, grammar, or whatsoever it is there, it is something like use it or lose it. So it doesn't matter that how much you learn if you're not using it at daily basis. Obviously, you're gonna forget, right? We don't have this computer memory. We do have this human memory, which have very limited thing to remind, and we'll have to recall it every time. So better, I would just give you three things as per I have a context about you for being appearing into interview. First, just be more focused on the speaking practice with the real time people. Probably get your friends, get your colleague, get your people. If no one is there, find some online co-learner, and that is for free availability. As I told, that there are various application as Fluency, CV, and Joe's Talk. So many are there. Go and find and speak for half an hour for next 21 days. Number two, chase one rabbit at a time. You know that where you'll have to improve. So specifically focus on to what is being required for now. Set a deadline for 1 month, 2 months, or maybe 1 week if you feel this is good enough to go with. But never ever try to be perfect. And whatsoever you are having for now, try to go forward with that. Because perfection, if you look for, it would never come, but it will reduce your speed. And number three, that that is none of the other thing, is the consistency. And you're sorted, boss. I believe that in next 1 month, if you'll be meeting me again, that you'll be saying that I got a good interview. I'm pretty much sorted. But having said that, you'll have to follow those things what I told.
Yes, of course. I will follow that.
Perfect. I'm feeling like I'm doing diagnostic session. Like I do this one-to-one diagnostic session wherein I take individuals to actually diagnose where exactly they are lagging. And it is just 20% of the part because we do have time limit. There I take 1 hour to actually understand where you are exactly, lagging. Because unless until I do have full context,
Whenever I saw your
your voice is
videos on
fluctuating.
YouTube channel, okay, at that time I
Your voice is fluctuating. I'm not sure whether it is because
now
my
is it okay?
no, no, no. It is like very much breaking, boss. Can you just check your internet once? I'll also go through with mine. Okay. Mine is stable. Okay. Speak something.
Yes.
Nope. Nope. Try to unmute yourself and then, mute yourself. Mute and unmute. Do it once. Yep. Now speak something. Again, it's breaking, boss.
Now
Yeah, it's better. It's like manageable. Anyway. Yeah. You were saying something.
can you hear me? Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear, but it is like I'll have to predict what you are saying. So, anyways, you please continue. I'll try to see that how I can take this. Yeah.
Okay, I have seen some videos on YouTube channel, like your channel. That's that time I fixed it. That I would like to ask you some questions about like these questions, okay, whatever I asked you. So that's why I asked you these questions.
Cool. Yeah, even I was glad to give the answers towards, and it was pretty well session. Like as I told that I felt like I'm diagnostic someone and actually helping to understand where you should focus on. So pleasure was all mine. Yeah,
Yes, whenever people watch this videos, okay, not for me, it's not just for me. Okay. Some people are struggling for that, so they can also learn this from the videos.
correct, 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 correct. Anyway, like I'm getting it very hard to understand what you're saying, but I believe that we have pretty much got the insights about this video. And if you have any question, you can ping me later, and we would obviously would have one more conversation for your channel regards, maybe very
So
soon
my
next.
voice is right now. My voice is breaking, right?
Yes, it is very much fluctuating. Like I'm just getting it very harder to understand. But anyway, it was pleasure talking to you, and I believe that you have got the enough gist. So please be consistent on those part what I told, and looking forward to connect you again.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye bye. Have a great day.